is £4,900. I knew there had been a recent Dior price increase, but I genuinely didn't know the price increase had went up to this extent. Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I'm going to share with you my 5 oldest bags in my collection and how much I paid for them back then. Yes, how much they cost back then. And I'm going to look at how much they would cost now. And we're both going to die at how much I paid for them and how much the increase is in today's market. Now, this is a tag video that was created by the fabulous Steph from Handbagholic. I was tagged by Steph. I will leave Steph's channel down below in the description box so as you can check her out and go and be amazed at the bags that she bought a long time ago and how much she paid for them. This has blown my brain slightly whenever I look at, firstly, some of the bags that I have and how much I paid for them, but also what has really surprised me when I went to do this tag is when I went round this room to pull out my oldest bags, I realised I don't have very many of them anymore. I made a huge amount of mistakes whenever I started buying luxury handbags, and I've talked about this before. I didn't know what worked for me. I didn't know my own style. I fell into the trap of buying what I thought I should buy, buying proper handbags, bigger handbags, structured handbags, bags that don't generally work for me. And I was surprised by how few of them I now have and how many I've sold on. And I did do a video recently about the bags that I have lost the most money on selling. And if you check that video out, that'll probably give you a view of a lot of my earlier bags, because those are the ones I lost a lot because I didn't know what I was doing. And it surprised me how little's still here. But let's go through them. Let's have a look at the bag, how much I paid for it, and today's price. And the first one is my beloved Neverfull in the GM size, my first version of this. Now I am going to see whether or not this can all be replaced, and replace the leather, replace these pull things, replace the handles. And if I can, I will document that, video it and share it with you, the process of seeing if it can be repaired, getting it repaired, how much it costs and what it comes back like, so as you can have an idea of that. Now I know they can't repair the canvas on the corners where it has worn. I have spoken to Anita about this, and if the leather is cracked, if the canvas is cracked underneath this leather, they can't do it because they can't sew it or they can't risk damaging it further. But I'm going to find out if I can, because I would love to get this replaced. Also, my new version of this gets used so much that if I'm not careful, it's going to end up the exact same way. I recently brought it on holiday with my husband, my children, my brother, his family, and I saw how it was treated on the holiday by me, and I realised you're going to do the same again. You need to wise up, so I need to see if I can get this one repaired. But I bought this in 2011 in Rome for €550. Yes, you heard me right. The Louis Vuitton Neverfull in the GM, the biggest size in the Monogram canvas, in 2011 cost me €550. And I can tell you that I saved up for that I thought it was a fortune, that I couldn't believe I'd bought a bag that was so expensive, that I was so proud of it, that I can't believe that was that back then and what this is now. So I've just checked the website, and this is now £1,450 sterling. Now €550 wouldn't be far off £450 sterling. So this is £1,000 more than what I paid for it. Now I know there's other bags that have went up thousands and thousands of pounds, but for the Neverfull in the canvas, I think that's quite an increase of what I paid. So €550, roughly £450, to now £1,450. I cry when I think of that. I do die when I think of that price. Because if I had known, if I had that magical crystal ball to know what was going to happen in the future, I'd have bought 6, and I'd have bought Damier Ebene, and I'd have bought Damier Azur, and I would have had to take a loan to buy them all, but I would have done it because look at what they cost now. I still love this bag. I think it's fabulous. I still would replace this bag at £1,450 because it works for me and my lifestyle. But wow, probably my next oldest bag of the bags that I still have is the Twist from Louis Vuitton in the PM size. Mine was the limited edition with the black and white monogram, and it also has this on the strap. I bought this bag in Palma. I was on holiday with my friends. I put this on and I preened about the store like I just loved it. I couldn't stop grinning. I kept strutting up and down, and the store in Palma's not very big, so to strut up and down takes some achieving. But I kept going to the mirror, looking at this bag, loved it, and in the end decided that I couldn't leave it behind. My friend had actually spied it first, but she was after the black and they didn't have the black, and I loved this bag. It was very, very special. I think it was the first twist or Louis Vuitton leather bag that I had bought that wasn't the Speedy. So it was very, very special, and I did wear this a lot. There are a few signs on this that I have worn it. I bought it, I believe, before I had my second child. I think I bought this in 2017. I'm not exactly 100% sure. It was potentially 2017 or 2018, I think, around about that time. And I bought this in euro because it was in Palma. I think the conversion worked out around about £2,000 I paid for this. The twist in the Vernay leather in the PM size, I'm fairly certain it worked out around about £2,000. And this is the PM size, so when I check the website now for the twist PM in a similar pink colour, now it doesn't have the same black and white monogram because this was a limited edition, but a pretty similar twist PM bag is currently £3,450. So if we say it was 2017, even given it its longest time period in the 6 years since, this has went up around about £1,450. And we're going to come to Chanel with their crazy price increases. But I think even this shows us the twist wouldn't be one of the most popular bags from Louis Vuitton. Now, they are pushing it recently and they are definitely putting a lot more onus on this bag. But it's not one of the most popular, and it's gone up nearly £1,500. So these bags are just increasing. And I have a Lady Dior over here. It's not one of my oldest bags, but even the price increase that Dior very recently had. Actually, let's take a look at that. Even this is blowing my mind. I've just looked on the Dior website. Now, I bought this, I think, only last year. I think I bought this early 2022 potentially, and I am fairly certain that I paid £3,300 for this, which is a lot of money, but this bag is stunning. Look at this beautiful iridescent hardware on this bag, and this is in pristine condition. It's beautiful. But I have just looked at the website. Now obviously I can't find this one because I think this was a limited edition or one that wasn't out for a very long time. But a small Lady Dior bag with the same strap as this, so not the ABC one, is £4,900. I knew there had been a recent Dior price increase, but I genuinely didn't know the price increase had went up in the number of price increases there have been to this extent. I had no idea that this was now £1,600 more than when I bought it at the start of last year. And that's not even one of my oldest bags. That's pretty new. £1,600. It's crazy. Next, let's go to those crazy Chanel price increases and die at what this cost then and what this costs now. I can remember exactly when I bought this bag. This is the Chanel medium classic flap in the caviar. I have had my chain extended, but apart from that, it's the classic. I bought this in December 2019. I remember when I bought this because I bought this for achieving a certain work professional achievement. It was a goal of mine, and I had always said if I met that particular achievement and I achieved that, said the word achieve a few times there, but I always said I would buy myself a black classic flap for hitting that goal. And the reason I went for black was because it was for work. It was a work achievement, but I was going to use the bag for work, and that's why it's black and not one of my crazy colours that I love to buy. As my phone falls on the floor with the updated price. So December 2019, I bought this, and I am fairly certain this was in and around £4,300-ish. And at the time, walking into Chanel in London, I remember thinking, am I absolutely nuts spending £4,300, say, on a handbag? Am I crazy? This is ridiculous. But I had the money. It was for that particular point in time, and that's what I went to buy. So I knew that's what I was buying, but at that time, that amount I found ridiculous. This is now £8,530. £8,530. About £4,200, say, in 4 years. December, not even because we're not at December, in 3.5 years. £4,300. This has effectively doubled in price in 3.5 years. And I know I've made videos talking about the Chanel price increase and we've all talked about it, but sometimes when you actually look at it like that and think about what was paid then and now, it just hits you how crazy those price increases are. Okay, next one. And again, this isn't an overly old bag. I wouldn't say I've had this for a very long time, but it was the first of the mini capucines that I bought. I think I bought it in 2020, I think. I'm fairly certain I had this in lockdown. So 2020, say 3 years ago, and I remember buying this in the region of £3,000. This was a limited edition one because it has this plexiglass handle and it has the blue here. I still adore this bag. This bag is going nowhere. I love the handle. It just makes it something different. And I think from memory, it was in the region of £3,000 at that time. A Capucines Mini now, so the regular black leather Capucines Mini that doesn't have the plexiglass handle and doesn't have this little blue inlay. And I don't know if they would add to the price or not, but if we just go for a standard black version, it is £5,100. £5,100 in sterling. Crazy. So in, say, 2 to 3 years, I think it was 2020, so 3 years, this bag has went up around about £2,100. And there has to be something in just the rise of luxury in general, and through lockdown a lot more people found it and watched it, and YouTube and all of this, and the prices now are just, they are something else. And the last bag we're going to talk about now, apart from two of mine, none of these are overly old, but this was the first Chanel Mini that I ever bought, and didn't it spark me going down a rabbit hole? Didn't it spark an addiction? And the Chanel Mini became something that I loved and adored, and I now have a few, and I collected them in a few colours, and there's more colours that I would love to add, only these are now very, very expensive and very, very hard to get. So this is the Chanel Mini from the, I believe, 18B collection in the raspberry. So it is a reddy colour, but when you see it off camera, it does have a raspberry tinge to it. It's like a pink purple underlay to it. It's not a bright red, and it was the 18B collection. I have 3 bags from the 18B collection. The colours in that collection were something that spoke to me, and I obviously struggled to resist, but this was the first one I got, and this was in caviar. I think from memory 2019 I bought this, because I bought this Preloved from Fashion File. At the time when these were released, I didn't really shop Chanel. I didn't really have the money to shop Chanel. We were in the middle of doing a renovation to our house. I was having our second child. Chanel wasn't really high up on the list of priorities, but coming out of that the next year, I remember looking for this bag and falling in love with it, and I found it on Fashion File, and I think from memory I paid somewhere around 3,000 to 3,300. It was in that bracket, and that's in sterling. Now if you want to buy one of these in caviar, because you would have to go pre-loved because I don't think they make them, the last one that was similar to this colour that I saw for sale was in the region of £4,800, maybe even up to 5 depending on the colour. So they definitely have become harder to find, and in good condition they definitely now attract even more of a premium. I thought when I bought mine that it was expensive. It is expensive, but the price that they are now, we've repeated myself so many times in this video, the price increases, and I sometimes do just, when I look at some of the bags I have and what I paid for them, just think, like, even I'm looking over there at the multi-pochette accessoire, that's not an old bag either. I think I bought that in and around 2021 maybe, and I remember paying, I think it was 1,400, and I think they're £2,000 now. So even in short periods of time, how much things have gone up. And then when I think of the older bags, if you watch that video about the bags I've sold and lost the most, when I think of what I sold those bags for, I despair. I lost a fortune, and if I had kept them and waited or even knew more what I was doing, those bags back then definitely lost a fortune. But this one, yeah, about £1,600 more if you wanted to buy this now. Thank you, Steph, for creating this very informative, fun, and sometimes mind-blowing tag. Thank you for tagging me in it. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think of the bag price increases and the changes in the ones that I have. What's the oldest bags that you have? What are the ones you've had the longest? What did you pay for them? How much have they gone up? Come into the comment box and let's have a conversation about it, because seriously, the price of bags now compared to even a few years ago, it's something else. Thank you so much for watching me. If you have enjoyed this in any way, please do consider giving it a thumbs up. If you have not yet, please do consider subscribing. And if you're not done with me yet, I'm going to leave another video for you on the screen. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching me. Please take care, and I will see you again in the next one.